So tell us what we need to know about Myers.
See, the thing about Bob is, it's the first thing is like, this is the guy that was at the helm of those Warriors dynasties for years. I mean, like a decade almost. And when he first called it quits back in May, it sounded like a guy who was burnt out from the day-to-day responsibilities of trying to run a team. I know that's not necessarily what the Commanders are asking him to do, but it is. I got the impression that Bob needed a break from the whole team building, experience, and he hopped on ESPN pretty quickly. But to see the Josh Harris and company have reached out to him to ask if he could help, advise them as they make these head coaching front office hires in the next couple of weeks, next couple of months. That's really shocking to me. And it's not that Bob Myers doesn't have an interest in football. Anyone who knows him knows that football is a part of Bob, sports in general. But the fact that he is willing to jump in and help a rebuild after, I want to say he ran from a rebuild in Golden State, but he kind of knew I get a sense that he knew that the writing was on the wall. And the fact that he's jumping into something so fresh and something that's going to have so many eyes on it is crazy to me at this point.
Well, I think his role might be a little different than before. Like, how do you think he can help them? Because Josh Harris, the owner, made clear Bob's not here for X's and O's stuff. He's here for team building expertise. Do you think that can translate, and can he help them move this forward?
I think so. The thing about Bob is, say what you want about some of the decisions he made over his tenure as the GM and president of basketball ops for the Warriors. Say what you want about maybe some of the draft picks he made or some of the free agent signings, but the fact of the matter is Bob Myers is one of the best GMs in the NFL, not only identifying talent. The NBA, not only identifying talent, but keeping that talent in-house, cultivating that talent, and also identifying players and coaches with great character, right? Because I think at the end of the day, Steph, Clay, Draymond Green. I know Draymond's character hasn't necessarily been something that's
a
been
bold
celebrated.
Statement, man.
That's something that's been celebrated in recent weeks. But at the end of the day, Draymond Green's a good person. I've been around him enough to be able to say that. So is Stephen Curry. So is Klay Thompson. So are so many of the free agents that have come in and out of Chase Center through the years. Chase Center Oracle through the years, like a Sean Livingston or a Kalini Azubuike, like all these dudes that come through. So the Commanders are a team that they're really trying to shake that that organizational reputation of having bad character people within the organization. And as they're sitting here hitting the reset button with Josh Harris, I think that not only can Bob Myers assist in identifying quality talent, but he can also help in making sure that the people who come to this organization going forward are people of high character.
As a fan, you talked about your first reaction was kind of surprised, but as a fan, were you excited to see that Bob Myers' name is included in this whole coaching search? And do you think that ultimately the crossover will work?
Yeah, it means the Commanders are cooking, right? There's always that saying that surround yourself with smart people or like-minded people, and again, Bob Myers was one of the best in the business in the NBA at establishing a culture and growing it and maintaining it, and that's something that the Commanders have desperately needed through the years. So to wake up one morning and see Bob Myers and my Commanders in the same sentence was kind of crazy. But when you look at it, when you take a extended look at it, take a step back, it makes sense, and it's nice that Josh Harris is willing to go outside of your typical football voices to try to find solutions for this franchise.